What is up, you beautiful people? This is Gary Horde, and this is Pro Wrestling. It's the show celebrating the one true sport, professional wrestling. That's why this is Pro Wrestling. And I'm here with Dr. Stinson and Will. Hey guys.
Hey,
go Dogs!
I believe though, I got to correct you on we're rebranding this show as the Bearded Trio Show.
Oh, that is true.
So,
I forgot all about that. This is
I know you're just programmed, dude. You're just like a robot. You're like, this is Pro Wrestling. I get it.
Yeah, got to tear me down right off the start, Will.
I just like we got to stick with the facts here. After years of doing podcasts with Rob, I've learned I got to fact check stuff because some stuff is way out there. So
Gary be saying some whack stuff, man.
Rob talking about the Freebirds and like,
oh boy,
all this stuff. So we're just gonna jump right out the gate with that. What is up in the chat? Polka Dot Pam, Noob and Co. Everybody watching, even if you're not chatting. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening later if you are on our podcast, which you can find. This is Pro Wrestling on all the podcast platforms. But if you're on YouTube or you use YouTube, make sure you go to youtube.com/@thisisprowrestling, since that's how YouTube does stuff now. We're at This is Pro Wrestling on YouTube. So check us out there. Make sure you subscribe. We'd really love to hit 1,000 people. That would be awesome. And and Roy Caps in the chat saying the OG boys are back. Yes, they are.
We're here.
We're here.
I'm not seeing the chat, Gary. So you're gonna have to run it tonight.
Oh, why don't you see the chat?
I don't know.
Why don't you open your eyes, dog?
Oh,
right there.
Oh man, wow. No, I don't see the chat. So I'll let
Just
you
look to the right. If you look to the right of the video,
I know where it is.
Dave Scooby is in the chat. Austin is so much better to listen to when he's not ranting and raving. Of course, he's talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin, who what? That's who he's talking about.
When he's not, yeah. Oh, yeah, so much better.
Dave hung out with Austin, and they weren't allowed any beer, so Steve Austin was very calm and collected. No, Dave Scooby's talking about the episode that just aired of NWA Presents over on the NWA's YouTube channel. If you haven't checked that out, youtube.com/NWA. Billy Corgan, you probably know that guy. He sat down with Austin Idol, the Universal Heartthrob, a legend in this business, and they had a nice conversation, presented a bunch of memorabilia. We were talking about right before we went on air. We might as well say this now. Doc was saying he looked like a lawyer interrogating a witness at some points because he just like handed these pictures and like, where were you? And like take the picture back.
They had this really fascinating exchange over one picture, trying to determine whether it was Jack or Jerry Briscoe. And it's just fascinating to me, because at first Austin's like, no, that's Jack, and he's like, no, wait a second, that might be Gerald. It was just neat, to see him looking at those photographs, and they
had funny when you confuse
some good stories, man.
Yeah. What's up, John?
I don't know.
John Rosado in the chat. Thanks for being here. Let's see. So anything that stood out to you, Doc, about that interview, especially besides Austin Idol being confused about the Briscoes?
There's a ton of good stuff. Of course, we've had chances in the past to talk with Idol and pick his brain. So we've heard him tell us, individually about the plane crash, and we've gotten into his brain about that before. I was really fascinated by his talk on Mr. Wrestling 2 and Mr. Wrestling 1. And
that was my favorite part too.
The invention of the gimmick, him talking about, hey, I know who this is, but he still refers to himself as 2. He showers with his mask on. I was reading, it might have even been on something as bland as Wikipedia, but I was reading an anecdote about Mr. Wrestling 2 being invited to the President Carter's inauguration. I think it's on Wikipedia. And he said that, because President Carter now was a huge fan of Mr. Wrestling 2. And he was invited to the inauguration, but because of how huge kayfabe was in those days and how, big he was with the mask, Secret Service was going to make him unmasked to attend. And so he declined an invitation to come to the inauguration because he wouldn't unmask. But it's like everybody knew who he was,
But why wouldn't he? If it was me, I would just go and say I'm like Joe Schmo, Like,
yeah. I'm just Johnny Walker.
I guess he just was like, no, I will not be.
It was so big. I mean, and kayfabe was a big deal, and everybody. I mean, it was such a big deal that bad guys and good guys would rent different hotel rooms and wouldn't be seen publicly in any place. I mean, just because of fear. And the rank and file fan had no clue who Mr. Wrestling 2 was. So he was just that's how it was back in those days. Now, I know that Mr. Wrestling 2 did get to meet Jimmy Carter privately and the family privately. The whole family was a fan of him. I mean, we're in Georgia, man. It's everybody's a wrestling fan back in those days here. So he did get an audience with the president, but it kind of spoke to that. And then he's talking about even with the workers and all these guys know who he is, he's showering with his mask on. I just thought it was fascinating.
Oh yeah. He tells a story about calling him up, and he's just like,
hey, "This is 2."
He answers it. This is 2.
And the fun story.
I know who you are.
The fun story that we have. Speaking of Georgia, we were actually in the Georgia State House or in the Capitol, and we were mistaken for Wrestling 1 and 2 in the elevator.
Yeah, you say it like it only happened one time. That was like the go-to in the Georgia Capitol building. I don't know why. I didn't realize the popularity of Mr. Wrestling.
I know, man, in Georgia,
like huge, man.
And so like that was like the go-to when somebody would see you and be like, "Are you wrestling too?"
We have for a lot of you guys here know this. If you're listening, you don't know. The 3 of us had a resolution adopted in the state of Georgia declaring a day in October to be NWA Day, and this was back when Nick Aldis was champion. He was reaching historic milestones and all that, and we submitted the request. Senator Jeff Mullis, who at the time was the Rules Committee chairman, which is like the 3rd most important office in the state of Georgia behind the lieutenant governor and the governor, he took it, pushed it through the Senate, got it adopted. We got copies of it. I've got mine on my wall over here. I think Mr. Wrestling 2 is mentioned by name in it, but we went, the champ went, brought the belt. The first time that belt has been in the Capitol Dome, and we met with Senator Mullis, we met with the governor, and on 2 or 3 occasions, whether it was the Senate Pro Tem or the Senate Minority Leader, or the Senate Majority Leader, or the governor, or whoever, they all mentioned Mr. Wrestling. Either Wrestling 1 or Wrestling 2. It was pretty cool.
And I'll just say, Rob's being really generous when he says we wrote that. Like Gary and I had nothing to do with that.
Accurate.
Only one of us is a doctor, and he made that happen, and we just rode the coattails for that one. But that was a cool memory. It was a lot of fun.
It was awesome, man. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And I love when I see all this talk or film from his game room, you see the resolution on the back of the wall. I love that. I'm like, man, that was something we did, and we made that happen in the state of Georgia. It was cool.
Do you think anybody in the NWA actually has a copy of that resolution now?
Billy Corgan has a copy.
Oh, Billy does have. Okay.
Yeah, Billy, the president, Nick, and the 3 of us, we have the copies. Oh, one other you don't have a copy?
No,
y'all didn't get copies of that?
Go get me a copy.
Oh, I thought y'all got copies. So I can get copies of it.
I thought they were just backed up at Kinko's. So you did.
Yeah, that's what I had.
I thought y'all had copies, man.
Nah, you just forgot about us when you bailed on us a while back.
Hey, listen, Burt Jones is the
I wrote that.
Burt Jones is the General Assembly of the state of Georgia assumed it went into session today, and Burt Jones, who's the new lieutenant governor, is a friend of myself and Officer Coker. You guys know my school SRO, Bruce Coker, and I'll get you copies. We got copies. I know Corgan has one. I've got one. That's a shame because you know who else has one? Nature Boy Paul Lee's got one.
Wow.
How'd Nature Boy Paul Lee get one?
All right.
I got one.
He got mine. He must have got mine.
Nature Boy Paul Lee got one because he's a huge fundraiser for Senator Mullis.
And he was mentioned. He was mentioned in it as well.
He's mentioned in it, and Mullis asked, they're really good friends, and they're all great guys and stuff, and so Mullis requested that Nature Boy Paul Lee get a copy of that. So,
how about that?
Yeah.
And if you
I'll be right back.
With us, okay. If you didn't know you were going to show up on a live stream tonight and hear about Nature Boy Paul Lee, well, here you are. Nobody expected that, I don't think, Doc.
No, man. We should though. He's another legend in the state of Georgia.
There you go.
Talking Shopomania. I mean, he's been to all the big venues. WCW. He was on Halloween Havoc. You can actually see him in Halloween Havoc out there, and he was here when President Trump came to Chattanooga. Interesting story. Paul Lee was in one of the VIP booths, and President Trump comes out to in this big venue in Chattanooga, and he points up and he recognizes Paul Lee, and he waves at him and all that because Paul Lee's been a big advocate and fundraiser for Republican Party politics in the state of Georgia and all that. I don't want to get political. He's a good guy, great guy. Lifelong pro wrestler worker. He deserves to have his name in that resolution.
I was just picking on him.
I know, man.
And we're also happy to have all of you people here watching right now. Thanks for being here. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. That helps us out. It gets us in front of more people. And follow us on all the socials at TIPW Show and on podcast feeds. Wherever you have a podcast, look for This Is Pro Wrestling. Give us a subscribe there. Share us with all your friends and family. And that's enough promoing for that minute. Let's talk about the NWA Women's Champion for a minute, because I haven't had a chance to talk to you guys about this, because she is killing it, y'all. Have you seen, like, on social media, like, this stuff? Like, she's been going around trading. There she is with the Mortons. We're showing a picture of that with Ricky and Carrie. And then she's with Dr. Tom Pritchard. She was there next. Then she moved on. And then, like, late last night, I saw this pop up.
Right. Go! Right.
I don't know why it tries to replay there. But anyway, the point is she was apparently over with the Kazana family.
Yeah.
And so she's trading there. So, and she put it out on Twitter, like, who have you learned the most from? Let me know. I want to work with them. And so the women's champion, Camille, she's on top of the mountain in the National Wrestling Alliance. The world is her oyster. And she's still out there busting her ass trying to learn. I just wanted to bring that up.
I think Cargill said something too, called her out on social media or something, or offered her a chance.
Yeah, they had a back and forth on Twitter.
Yeah, somebody said something about, who's gonna, I think it was AEW tweeted who's gonna beat the champ or something like that, and Camille was like, yo. But yeah, it's so cool to see, because I mean, unfortunately, we don't see that kind of stuff a lot, and maybe it goes on behind the scenes, but it's really cool to see the dominant champion who has truly, as we always talk about, really been the face of the NWA for the last year. I mean, she has carried the banner, she has defended that championship everywhere. But then to see her, instead of just sitting back and being like, yeah, I'm the best, saying, no, I want to learn some more. And, I think we talked about it last week on the Monday show, Gary, but it's like, she's already dangerous. How much more dangerous is she going to be now after sitting under the tutelage of these legends in the business? So it's just wild.
Well, she already had Tom Latimer, teaching her for so long, and I guess she just figures, she called him the best possible teacher she could have, and Tom's trained a lot of the guys that are coming up in the NWA right now. So Tom's a great wrestler himself, but I guess she wanted to get out there, branch out.
Also not a bad looking bloke.
Oh yeah, that's
I just had to say that. That was kind of British. I was telling Gary earlier, I can't, for some reason, every time I try to do British, it's Australian.
G'day, mate.
I don't know those rap on the Bobby.
I always slip back and forth. Like, here's my best Tom Latimer is, "Hey, governor, I'm gonna sweep that chimney for you."
Oh, he says that all the time. Just walking around backstage saying that.
Lots of chocolate for me to eat.
That's how American we are. Our only exposure to like actual British people is. You okay? Sorry, my 5-year-old's having a little coughing spell.
He didn't like my singing.
He can't.
Just made him barf.
But yeah, we only know what's in the movies.
All right. Well, sorry, Camille, that we were talking about something cool like you and then moved on to garbage. Hey, referee James Lawrence in the chat.
Hey,
Marks is in the chat.
Heck yeah.
It's good seeing you guys. We got a short one today because we're hanging around till Will has to go play video games with his kid. Doc's been at a board meeting all day.
Yeah, more like board meeting.
I see what you did there. That was good. I like that. What else is going on with you guys? I know we're trying to get back together and do the Bearded Trio show. I have not had a haircut or shaved since I don't know, since like December sometime. That's what my goal is in January.
I haven't had a haircut since freaking July, bro. Look at all this.
Look at all that. Wow, you get a man bun and everything.
No, ain't no man bun now.
Man bun?
Ain't no man.
Doc
ain't
the
man bun.
himbo.
You need a man bun, Doc.
No, man.
That's what you need.
Noni would like you to know that was definitely not Australian, but
If she's talking to me, absolutely. I don't know. I can barely do an American accent.
yeah.
I live here.
Yeah, it's if you follow Nani on Instagram, you can hear the Australian accent as she makes vegetables and she always is at this angle. Anyway, that's what I know about Noni.
That's on Instagram.
It's called content creation, Gary. All right, look.
Yeah, I know.
That's how you make good content.
I wasn't really making fun of her. I was just saying it was just that's what I know.
Gary does.
She's better at it than
Gary's
me.
like this. Gary's down here. He's like, "Hey guys, what's up? I'm just hopping on TikTok to say what's up."
No, Gary's more like swipe. Here's a meme. I'm gonna put that in my stories. And then that's what I do.
You want to make more content though. We want you to make more content as Gary.
We need to make more content. That's what we're doing here, actually. And so, Noni, in all seriousness, I appreciate you being here. Thank you. And we're trying to bring back the Bearded Trio. This is pro wrestling, all that stuff, and this is part of it. So I think we want to get back into the pro wrestling history podcast that we were doing. I think we'll start re-releasing like a little bit of those and let you guys hear those if you never heard them before and catch up on that.
I wonder if Front Row is still our lone subscriber to our Patreon.
No,
a couple things. First of all, we never had a Patreon.
But
I know what you're talking about.
He
was supporting us.
There was a nice little thing on the website that was like, if you want to buy a cup of coffee or something. And,
yeah.
He did. And I got the email when he canceled it and I texted him immediately.
Upset you?
He was like, sorry, man. I just figured you guys aren't doing anything anymore. I was like, hey, that $10 was keeping me afloat.
Yeah, dude.
That was all I had.
We appreciate it, man. That was cool when because it was this is pro wrestling. Formerly, this is the NWA. I mean, we've gone through a bunch of iterations of what we want to do, and I think all of us have matured and we've gotten involved in the wrestling business, and now we're to the point where it's like we just want to be three guys that love wrestling, hanging out and talking, and we think that you guys want that too. So that's what we're going to start doing. That's why we've kind of moved more towards the Bearded Trio show and not being directly tied to like a post show or a specific, thing or something like that, or even like history only. We're just kind of whatever interests us. So I'm pretty excited about that. I was telling Gary this before. I'm also, if you guys are into video games, I'm going to start streaming a little bit on here. I picked up Retromania. Rob, I know you've got that one too. And so
that's hard, man. That game is hard.
Not when you put it on easy, which is the first thing I did because you told me this.
It's freaking hard.
No,
man.
Doc's like, but it's like
too.
it's on a computer and stuff.
Yeah, it's on a screen, man. There's no board, there's no dice.
Listen, man, I the other day I decided I'm gonna turn because I heard on the Cinema Shock Roulette episode, that's one of Gary's other side hustles. He got on a PS5 for Christmas, blah blah blah. So I was like, I'm gonna turn my
nice.
I'm gonna turn my PS4 on, and I've got this WWE 20K19 that I still haven't unwrapped. So I was like, 20K19, man. You thought during the pandemic, I should have got into that. But so I was like, I'm gonna crack this open, man. Yeah, maybe I can get in this. Popped it in, boom. 5 minutes, I'm done with it.
That 20K
Rob, maybe
it'll get you, man. It's like that's the one where you like turn on your PS 4, and then you hear, like, knock at the door. They're like,
2K19.
"Who's at the door?"
And his name is John C.
Oh, I've missed that.
Did you
James
see
Bell
the-
calling
the-
us out? As I said that, I kind of regretted it. I'm like, mature probably wasn't the right word. I don't think we've matured. We've just done stuff.
Aged.
We have
we're
aged.
weathered. We're
Well,
weathered.
we haven't matured. I can see the chat now, by the way, if you can't tell.
Oh yeah,
Whoa.
see that. And
I wasn't
we
gonna tell
still
you,
love the NWA, so we're going to be talking a lot about the National Wrestling Alliance, of course. But anyway, but to show you that we could talk about other stuff, did you guys see the news that just hit? Stephanie McMahon has resigned from the WWE.
What?
What?
I did not see that.
Yeah, that just dropped. She just posted on Twitter. It says, well, I'll just read it. About 8 months ago, I took a leave of absence, and within a few weeks, unexpectedly had the opportunity of a lifetime. I had the privilege to return as the co-CEO and chairwoman of the board of WWE. I cannot put into words how proud I am to have led what I consider to be the greatest company in the world, working alongside a remarkable leadership team and one of the strongest executives I've known, and my co-CEO, Nick Codd. Our founder, Vince McMahon, has returned as executive chair and is leading an exciting process regarding strategic alternatives. And with Nick's leadership and Paul Triple H Levesque as the chief content officer, I am confident WWE is in a perfect place to continue to provide unparalleled creative content and drive maximum value for shareholders. WWE is in a strong position that I have decided to return to my leave and take it one step further with my official resignation. I look forward to cheering on WWE from the other side of the business where I started when I was a little kid as a pure fan. I will always remain dedicated to WWE. I truly love our company, our employees, our superstars, and our fans. And I'm grateful to all of our partners. Thank you for everything. And then she had to do the tagline, then, now, forever, together, Steph.
Yeah.
So
Man,
there
I
you
always
go.
like
That's
Steph,
wild,
man.
man.
I always like Steph, man. She remind me. Remember Kennedy from MTV? It's like she was kind of like hot in a nerdy way. You know what I'm saying? I always dug Stephanie, man. And hold on, I always dug this guy.
Wrestling with the
Look
MMA.
at
Look
there,
at that.
my man, my homie.
Yo,
Good to see you, my brother.
it's feeling like a
Oh.
reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Glad to see a
Yeah,
lot
it
of you
feels
still
good,
showed
man. It's
up.
like,
So thanks for being here. We had Polka Dot Pam in the chat and Noni McPawney and James Bell, Noob, Wrestling with the MMA, referee
Oh,
James Lawrence, Royded
Rosado
Caps.
up in
Yeah,
there.
look at all these people. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. This is really, really cool.
Polka Dot Pam takes one to know one, girl. You the nerdiest of them all.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my girl.
Doc, you still coming to Knoxville for NWA's first
My
ever
plan-
live
That's my
NWA
plan.
power?
That's my plan. Of course, I mean, things happen here, but my plan is I have a on February the 1st, I have a champs graduation I'm supposed to go to. So it may be, I come down and then drive back that night, but my intentions are to be there.
I have a couple of CDs that Heather Hudley gave me for you forever ago.
Yeah, she's supposed to. And I think Will's got a book I'm supposed to have.
Yeah. If I still have it.
was like, oh,
he re-gifted that junk, man.
I'll find it. Yeah. I gave it to another Rob. It was signed to
That's
Rob,
all right. That's all right, man.
but I gave it to another one. No, I'm just kidding. I still got it.
What the heck, man?
I got to remember to bring it, though.
What
that's
book
the
is
key.
it? Now I'm curious.
The Tyrus book.
Tyrus book.
Oh, the Tyrus book. Okay.
You remember when we had those signed like a year ago?
Yeah.
So what day y'all? Well, maybe we should talk about this offline. I was going, what day? When y'all getting there? Y'all getting there the day before or the
I think we're
31st?
going like Monday,
know.
right, or something. That
Yeah,
sounds like-
Probably. I don't know. You're booking it, right, Gary?
That's what I'm assuming.
Just make sure you got.
We'll just cover we'll talk about our admin stuff. This is just a live staff meeting.
No, let's
Make
do it now.
All right, let's pull up a screen share and pull up some hotel rooms.
Yeah, let's do this.
let's book our travel live on the air.
Is Royded Cap's Doc's secret account? Has he been Doc's secret account this whole time?
The
We
whole
still
time.
playing
You've
with
never
the
seen us
plan.
together. You've never seen us together.
It always feels
I'm
like
just saying.
what was that?
That stool. That was I was mocking Doc's
Oh.
stool. That was pretty close.
Oh yeah.
It sounded real.
James Bell saying people talk the talk, but it appears Steph is the only one to actually walk with Vince's return. I heard like 2 other board members step down too, James.
Oh, I think they were involuntarily stepping.
Oh, were they involuntarily stepping down? Yeah, they were like the 2 people that kind of led the investigation into Vince McMahon or something.
That's convenient. Yeah, they were sent into their future endeavors.
Yeah. Everybody's back.
Yeah.
Triple H still hanging on. And
it's crazy. I mean, what are you guys' thoughts on that? I mean, the whole idea of selling the company.
Yeah, so Doc, it may not be up because I know you're not the biggest WWE fan, but just to catch you up on Will's.
Well, I mean, I think I like NXT a lot, so I'm in the loop a little bit.
So he's back because he wants to lead a sale of the company.
Yeah, something that's going to take about 4 to 6 months or something like that. Yeah, I mean, we may be buyers.
Yeah. It's currently valued at like $10 billion, but yeah.
Well, if we get our cup of coffee thing back on the website, have a couple car washes.
If you guys want a bikini car wash,
the front row canceled, so we're
bearded trio swimsuit calendar.
Oh,
that'll do it. That'll do it.
Ideas. I got ideas now.
We'll either get money for the calendars,
but you got them.
We'll get money for the calendars or money to tell us to stop. One way or the other. I like it. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody's saying like Comcast, which runs Peacock or Disney. But
Disney WWE feels weird.
Yeah,
but Disney, I mean, Disney it's ABC, ESPN. I mean, they're in the sports world. I mean, it might be cool to have an ESPN attachment to WWE. I don't know.
I mean, Disney had that classic connection with WCW,
Mm-hmm.
What about the Saudis? Saudi Arabia is a big fan.
Gary, why are you even bringing that up? I know that's a real thing, but you're just trying to get us to fight. Can't say the Saudis are good. Okay, now let's move on.
Just saying.
He knows, man.
Yeah, he's not having.
He's like F this. No, I'm just kidding.
They were fire.
That's good, man.
But yeah, I mean, it's strange to even think about. I mean, it was strange when when Vince originally left and the idea that like somebody other than him was going to be at the helm, with Triple H. And I felt like things got better. I mean, from my standpoint, I mean, it didn't, everything that we've complained about for years and years and years and whined about in the internet wrestling world wasn't like fixed overnight, but I mean, things I felt got more competitive. And I mean, I don't know if he's going to insert himself back into the creative process. It sounds like he's not going to. If I don't know, I'm getting mixed signals on that.
It seems like he's too busy right now. So maybe as time presses on, it would be something he'd squeeze into. Yeah. But I don't know. John in the chat saying, "I have a goatee. May I join you?" Full beards only, John. Full beards only. So work on that and follow up with us, and we'll talk.
Send us a audition video.
Yeah. A beard.
You are joining us, man. We're glad you're here, man.
Yeah.
Glad you're here.
And on Twitch. Thanks for being on Twitch. That's great. I'm getting interested in Twitch. So I'm gonna start. That's what I was saying earlier. I'm gonna start hopping on. We do have a Twitch channel, and I have a Twitch channel, and we also have this YouTube channel. So I might start live streaming. We've got a Twitch channel? Yeah, man. That's what John's talking to us on.
John's on Twitch right now.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you're gonna tell me we got a Facebook account or something.
Yo, we're on Facebook right now.
What?
Where was the bearded trio on the last ep of WCW?
Where were we? I was in college.
That would have been, what year was that?
01?
2000. Last episode.
I guess it was in the summer of 01, right?
Was it in the
summer?
Yeah.
Because I just graduated then.
Yeah, I was in the Army.
I was high on a beach.
Oh.
Just like parasailing, like up high.
March 26th. 2001. Yeah.
March. March. I was still a senior.
I'd have been in Kosovo.
I was still a senior.
Oh, man.
MySpace.
That's it, man.
The Snack Shack, according to Doc.
Yep. Man, my page was the best ever, man. You could tell when you you had your top 5 friends,
assignment.
and you'd watch You watch a girl's top
Was it
five.
top five?
rotate.
I thought she had like top 8 or something, right?
Yeah, it's
Top
top
5
8.
or top 8. I don't know. Favorite
Yeah,
friends.
come on,
and
man.
then if you fell off your girlfriend,
Doc never had more than 5 friends.
Yeah,
on
I was-
MySpace. It was like-
I never.
He's like, well, it's full.
Yeah, that's it. Top 8. Okay. Well, if you
See,
fell out at the top 8 from your
I
girlfriend,
avoided
you knew
all
you
that.
was going, a talk was coming.
I avoided all that drama, and I just put bands because I was all into like emo bands and stuff back then. I just put bands in my top 8, so nobody was like feeling like they were getting slighted.
Bands.
just-
Who were
Will-
the best
Will
emo
the
bands in
Peacemaker.
2001?
I know, man, because like I didn't want to just have like Gary and a bunch of people and Rob be like, where am I?
Yeah.
Be like, oh. So I just put bands,
Who were your bands on there?
Oh gosh,
bands
probably
in 01.
Fallout
Yeah.
Boy. I was into Hello Goodbye. Is that their name?
Cute is what we aim for, probably.
No,
Trauma doesn't follow me. Right.
Armor for Sleep used.
Whoa, Doc, we're going to get pulled down in terms of
Oh
service.
yeah, that's
It
right.
sounds too much like them.
Yeah, but it was just emos. People that use hair straighteners.
We
Had
should
the little
get back
swoop.
on MySpace.
Is it a thing still?
So there was something that was like a replica of MySpace, and I actually
Didn't
like made a
Justin
profile
Timberlake
on it.
buy it or something?
That was a long time ago, but yeah, he tried to make it like a music thing, kind of like
I gotcha. Napster.
reinvent it. That's so funny because he played the guy that
I
owned
know.
Napster in that movie. Okay, my head's exploding.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there was like a page, and it was like a social network, and there wasn't hardly anything you could do, but it was like an exact replica of the old MySpace.
There's a good band, and I know Polka Dot Pam knows who this is. Amanda Palmer. We actually did her on Piper's Notes. We did an interview with her, but she's got a side project called Evelyn, where their two conjoined twins, and it's this concept record. But there's a song on there called MySpace. Brilliant song. You got to look it up, and it's like the last word of every line in the verse is the name of a social network. So it's like
Wow.
YouTube. Live Journal, all the stuff.
Live Journal.
Yeah,
I was a Zanga guy.
Friendster. I
I'm really glad.
lyrics.
I'm really glad Zanga went away because if all the emo kid poems that I wrote about girls who didn't even know I existed back then.
Oh man, I got a book of poems I wrote somewhere.
Oh, we got to break that out. That's a good.
Yeah,
poetry
man,
we should
book.
sell
my
that. We
stuff
should
was
make
good,
copies
man. My
and
junk
sell
was good, boy.
Jennifer randomly comes in and finds my journals from like high school, and like she'll just randomly read a.
I'll never love again.
Every girl I ever love after this will be fake.
I've talked about burning them, but she won't let me. She's
So
like,
here it is.
Oh, that's
So let me read. Let me read you these lyrics real quick. MySpace by Evelyn, Amanda Palmer.
I love
I'll-
Blues
I'll-
Traveler,
I'll-
John.
I'll-
so
I'll sing it to you. It's hard enough to know where you're really supposed to go when you're looking for a friendly face. Book a ticket to another place. See what you did? Facebook,
it's different.
Move your
lines.
lips to speak. But they take it, look at you like you're a freak. It's a struggle just to stay alive. Journals burning in a burning fire.
Oh, and Gary just
the
talked
only
about
problem with
burning
that
his
song is
journals.
it gets really dated really quick.
Yeah, you're. It's basically a song that says I'm old.
Plenty other acts like you. Tube is full of them and they can see right through you. YouTube.
It was going to.
What was Tube?
YouTube. It's a friend. There are plenty other acts like you. Tube is full of them and they can see right through you.
Tube is
And
full
then-
of them.
Yeah. And you're
Well, that-
crying out to find your friends. Turn around and they're gone again.
Friendster.
She's so good. Amanda Palmer. Amanda Palmer is as good a songwriter as Robert Smith, and he's my favorite songwriter.
I'm gonna do a song like that, but it's all gonna be wrestler names. So it's gonna be like, I love you,
Yeah.
you're the ultimate. Warriors can't compare.
And the Archangel Michael, haze falling over me.
It's so weird because Fightful's email just came in from Fightful Select, and we brought up MySpace, and there's actually talk about bringing MySpace back, and with a potential buyer for WWE. It's super weird. Like one person's talking about buying both of them
Whoa. What if
And his name is John C.
I have to fact check stuff? What if I had to go right then and I was like, I gotta go. I really do have to go. But what if I had to go and I heard you say that and I was like, started telling people that?
Or what if you got phone, right? You got phone. You got calculator. What if we combine the two?
Get the hell out of here. You've lost your mind.
That's never going to happen.
Do you know what would happen to the calculator industry if that?
You're not going to have a calculator everywhere you go all the time.
The
So you need to
calculator
learn
lobby
your
is too
times
powerful.
tables.
You're right.
The calculator industry, big calculator. They really, they have
Big calc.
They have such a stronghold on Congress that we will never get to that place.
Yeah.
It's true.
All right, I really do got to bounce. If y'all
Zima.
want to stay and hang out,
Nah, we'll go. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us. This has
I'll
been a
stay.
good one.
No, y'all
We're
go.
gonna
I'll
be
stay.
by yourself.
and John, thank you for coming
if you
back.
wanna-
We're gonna be back next Tuesday night. We'll be on at least at that point. It's good to
If you
hang out.
guys want to
with
hang
We'll have
out,
more
Rob's
ideas.
gonna sing some karaoke after Gary and I leave.
If you guys have ideas for what you'd like us to do over the next few weeks while there's no NWA Power post show stuff to discuss, let us know. Make sure you follow us on at TIPW Show on all the social medias. Make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel, youtube.com/at This Is Pro Wrestling. This is Pro Wrestling everywhere. It's on the podcast too.
It's on the thing.
Yeah, the thing's on the thing, and we'd love to have you. And Noni is expecting poetry next week. Noni's still here.
Hey, man.
You got
Hey,
poetry
how-
this
She
week.
didn't leave.
I'm gonna pull my book out. It's somewhere. It's up in the attic somewhere, but it's called. I'll leave you. The title of my collection of poems is called "Of Toils and Times and Brittle Leaves."
I'll read something
God.
from my journal next week. That's what we'll do. We'll just do it. I love it.
I'll listen to you guys.
No, we're gonna listen to Will's emo poetry in
I would-
his
if I still had
Australian
it.
accent.
If I still had it, I would read it. But like I said, it was all on Zanga. Disappeared. It's gone. I could never replicate it.
Nothing
Man,
is ever gone.
Those days were such a simple time because you could simply, without the internet back then, girl be like, "Hey, blah blah blah." You could just fake a poem like it was yours. Like, "Here, girl, I wrote. Hey, Amber, I wrote this for you." It goes like
This
this.
seems like a real.
Amber is such a like.
I've been
O2
looking so
name.
long. I've been looking so long at these pictures of you that I almost believe that they're real.
I already know that that's the cure.
Yeah, but they didn't think they got to go back before they had
I
radio
like to think
and
I was
internet
the
stuff.
Amber in that situation. This was a code you were trying to pick me up.
No, I wouldn't
Well,
ever use
well,
it. I wouldn't ever use a single.
Rob
I'd use
Smith
one.
wrote that.
I would use one of
We've
their
all been an
obscure
Amber.
songs though. I'd use one of their obscure
Well-
songs like Charlotte, like something from Faith or 17 Seconds or something. You know, something like All Cats Are Gray. Most folks didn't hear that one.
We're
I'll
leaving
bust
it
that
okay.
out.
Thank you so much for being here. We love
Night.
you guys. Enjoy your gravy cake, people.